Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I am finally coming at you guys with my Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection System wear test review everything. I don't know who was waiting for this longer, you guys or me, but it is finally here and I am finally ready to show you guys the wear test, talk about everything, and give you guys my thoughts. So without further ado, I am just going to jump into this. I'm going to start off by going over each individual product. I am not going to read her long list because you know how Mother Pat likes to go through and just give the longest description. So I'm going to go through, tell you guys the prices, and then a quick description of it, and then we will get into the demo. I'm going to start off with the first step in the system, which is the primer, specifically the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Primer. If you purchase this alone, it is $60 and you're getting 1 fluid ounce of product. The description reads that makeup meets skincare in the ultimate smoothing, skin refining primer. The first step in Mother's iconic Sublime Perfection system. Primes, smooth, hydrates, and renews with a sublime silken effect that instantly turns back the time on your complexion by preventing moisture loss. Next up, we have the foundation. This retails for $68 and it has just a little bit more than the standard foundation at 35 mils or 1.18 ounces. This builds weightlessly from a sheer veil to flawless medium coverage in 36 universal color choices and 5 shade levels, custom curated for all skin types, tones, and undertones. Silky and luxurious, it feels creamy to the touch and delivers controlled, easily buildable coverage. It's self-setting, post-perfecting, and long-wearing. Then we have the Sublime Perfection Powder. This retails for $55 and you're only getting 5 grams of product, and it comes in 5 different shades. It is described as a silky, soft, luxurious, and super blendable powder, the ultimate finishing touch to set makeup for flawless, lasting wear. And then lastly, we have the 2 brushes. This is the powder brush. It retails for $58, synthetic fibers, and then the foundation brush. This is $55, and again, we have synthetic fibers. You're not going to see me using these in the demo only because they just got to my door 30 minutes ago. So all I can do is give you guys like my first impressions on the texture, the weight, and all that, and I will get into that and some comparisons later on. Those are the descriptions and prices for each of the individual products, but if you wanted to purchase these in a set, you can get everything I mentioned for $250, or you can get the foundation, primer, and powder for $150, and that's on the Pat McGrath site. Now, currently that is sold out, but I would imagine that it would be restocked. Now let's get into the demo. So originally, I have 2 different colors here. I am wearing one in the demo and then one today because, like I said, it's been a hassle. I have been purchasing from her site. I have been purchasing from Sephora and just trying to see what was going to come here first. And this came first. So the shade that I'm wearing in the demo is light medium 8. Before I applied this, I did go in with 1 pump of the primer on this side of my face. I wanted to test this out just on one side so that I could see if it made a difference in longevity, if it made a difference in the way everything looked, any of that, but I only wanted to do it on this side of my face. So I put that on and then I went in with the shade light medium 8. And I'm using my Sonia Castric sponge. I do have primers on my pores. Those are listed down below. And as you can see, this is giving me a true light medium coverage, like more on the light side. It definitely has a luminous, dewy finish to it. It's evening out my skin tone pretty well, but I wouldn't say that one layer is going to get you to medium. I did have to build up just a little bit on my cheek area where I have a little bit of discoloration, but this is a close-up of it done. I think it looks nice. It's definitely natural. It's luminous, but not oily looking. Now I'm going to go in with the powder, and I have the lightest shade. Now you're not going to be able to see it, I don't think, because it's all cut, like this is how much powder has come out. I haven't even like shaken it up, but there is a little piece of fabric right here. I think that's supposed to help hold the powder back, but it doesn't do a very good job. Anyway, I'm taking this on my Sonia Kashuk sponge and I am setting underneath my eyes. I think you guys can see just how light, as in airy, this is. It's very, very, very finely milled. More finely milled than the Anastasia one that I used in my last foundation review. It is very, 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 very finely milled, very silky to the touch. And then I'm gonna go and I set the rest of my face. And I'm going to come back and show you guys what it looks like with everything done. With my makeup completely finished, I feel like everything looks really nice. It looks natural, it's smooth, but it definitely went from that luminous finish to a very matte finish, and that's definitely because of the powder. My pores look great, but I do have to say that I feel like I'm a little dry around my mouth and on my cheeks right here. I even sprayed after I put my powder on because I felt like I was just a little too dry looking. So I used my Glow Recipe Spray and I just kind of gave it a spritz all over, and I still am this matte. Now let's get into the 5-hour mark. As you can see, nothing has changed. I don't even feel like I have gotten that like satin type of finish. Usually around the 4 to 6 hour mark is when I really like my foundation, and I feel like it sinks into my skin just a little bit more, looks a little bit more natural. This still didn't do that, and I feel like it's the powder that is so matte. So just wanted to let you guys know. Now let's take a look at 10 hours. Everything still looks nice, but I'm definitely noticing that I am drier right around my mouth. My upper lip looks and feels a little drier. Right here feels dry and kind of like crepey. I don't know that you can see that kind of crepiness right around my mouth, but it's definitely there. I didn't really have oil breakthrough. I got a slight amount of shine on my nose, but not really on the sides. It was mainly on the top portion of my nose, whereas a lot of times I can get really shiny right here. That did not happen, but I thought, you know what? I need to do some exercises. I don't usually like to have makeup on when I'm doing my exercises, especially outside. And I thought, you know what, let's just go ahead and do it. So I went outside, I did lunges down my road, I went for like a little mini hike, and then I came back again. I'm not sure how long it had been because I forgot to check the time, but you can see me panting. I have a little bit of lipstick on my teeth, whatever. You can see that this definitely did not budge. It didn't go anywhere. I was sweating. I did get a little bit of shine, which is more so, I would say, sweat than oil, but I got shiny. Nothing moved though. So I thought that was a fun little thing to put in here, was a workout test outside in the humidity. For my thoughts, I'm just gonna go product by product and tell you guys what I think. And I'm gonna start off with the primer. I did not notice any difference at all with this primer being on one side of my face. I realized that I forgot to turn my face this way whenever I was doing my check-in, so I apologize for that. So you're gonna just have to take my word for it. But I didn't feel like this really did anything. I liked it whenever I put it on. It has a nice scent to it. Let me see. It has a, I don't know, kind of slight perfume. It's not heavy. I wouldn't say that this is like a really strong fragrance, but it's not really light either. It's kind of in between. I don't know, it smells good to me. And it feels nice on the skin. It feels like it's hydrating, but I feel like it just didn't do anything. I feel like it's run of the mill, and for $60, I just wouldn't spend my money on it. And on top of that, the packaging on this is not on par with the price. Not only the bottle in of itself, but this is like construction paper. You guys can see that where it's coming up right here. It's like construction paper around, and it's 60 bucks. So I don't recommend this. 100% don't. I am wearing the foundation today with this, and I definitely can see the difference between how it looked the first time I wore it versus how it looks today. I think that this definitely does help. This is the By Terry Hyaluronic Hydra Primer. I have been loving this stuff. So I would definitely pick up that before I would this. Now for the foundation, again, I mentioned that I was wearing the shade 8 in the demo, but today I am wearing light medium 10, and I definitely think that this is a better color for me. I am going to leave swatches at the end of this video of both of these side by side, as well as some other comparisons for anybody that is looking to see what color they need. For me, definitely this one works better. This is going to be more on the number 8 is going to be more on my winter side. My thoughts for the foundation are packaging, beautiful. This is heavy, and even the box that it came in, this is so pretty, you guys. I loved opening this up. So it had cellophane all around it. Then you open it up. Look at this. I mean, the details here. I don't understand how you go from this to this. I don't get it at all. Anyway, you open it up and this is just gorgeous. It's heavy, the frosted glass, it's beautiful. You have a pump. I love the packaging on this. But the foundation, it's kind of basic. I'm not that impressed, to be completely honest. And it says it's a skin-loving foundation, but it does contain alcohol, and it's $68. It's not that I don't like the way that this looks on my skin, but I do have to say that I was more impressed with the new Anastasia one, the Luminous foundation. And if you're gonna go up in price, Luminous Silk. I have to say that I would suggest both of these over this one. I have to say that that's a shock to even me, because I really thought that this was going to be the bee's knees. I don't think it's bad. I think it's beautiful, but if I was going to recommend one, it would be one of these two. I just have to be honest with you guys. I love Pat McGrath, love her, but I just have to be honest. Now, while I like the foundation, I don't like the powder. I tested out the foundation just on half of my face after I washed my face the other night, and I put on my Chanel powder and it looked so much better. So I know that that dry matte feel that I was getting was from this powder. And while it's very finely milled and it feels nice when you touch it, I feel like it makes my skin look like a crepey kind of matte, not a velvety matte, like a, oh my gosh, your skin just looks like velvet. This, I don't like it underneath my eyes. I feel like it made me just a little too, I don't know, I feel like it aged me. To be completely honest, I feel like it aged me. Plus 5 grams for the price is just really, really high. So I wouldn't suggest the powder at all. And then I'm sorry, you guys, I know you were waiting and you're probably hoping that I was going to give this amazing review, but I'm just being honest. These brushes do not do it. Even if you decide to buy everything else, skip these. Skip them, skip them, skip them. Okay, so this is almost $60. Almost 60, it's 58, so basically in my head that is $60. This brush, if it was not labeled Pat McGrath Labs, I would assume that this was like a Milani or Real Techniques, something like that. I'm just going to show you guys some comparisons. This is the pointed blush brush 130 from the Moda Pro line. And this is softer than this one is. And cheaper. I love this brush from Sonia Kashuk, Target. I think it's $22. Love this thing. More Royal and Lang nickel brushes. I use this one all the time. This is a synthetic fiber brush. It's the BOM 130. There's just so many different options, you guys. Like, look, $60 is a no-go, an absolute no-go on this brush. I don't care. This one does feel better. Like this one just feels like a Real Techniques brush to me. This one's a little softer, and I definitely think it will do a good job of blending the foundation into the skin. I think it'd be great for blending powders into the skin. But again, price tag, $55. You just can't do it. This is a Real Techniques brush. I thought I had brought out more. I'm sorry. This is a Milani brush. This is just a blush brush right here. There's just too many options to really pick these up. I don't know why she skimps out on the brushes. I have said it before in some of my products that aren't worth the money. Pat McGrath brushes, they just aren't great. So definitely don't spend your money on these. Overall, I'm just disappointed in this launch altogether. And that's just not even talking about how long it took to get to me. I'm not even considering that in my review of the products. I'm just talking about brushes not being good quality, the powder being too dry for my skin, the foundation just not really being special. I just thought it was going to do something wonderful for my skin. And again, on camera, it might look great and that's fine and dandy, but I'm just telling you, the other ones look better. So you guys take that with a grain of salt. Everybody's skin is different. These are just my experiences. I will say that did last. Anywho, I love you guys, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.